Hey there everybody, welcome to another episode of Bert's Bike, and today we are going to talk about my Triumph T100 Bonneville and all the mods that I have done to this bike so far. At the moment, I am done with this bike except for, you guessed it, knobby tires to finish that sort of urban scrambler look. But at this point, the bike is pretty much the way that I want it. I just want to say a quick thank you to everybody who has been watching all the mods I've been doing to this Bonneville and keeping track with everything I've been doing on it, liking, subscribing, watching all the videos. There's just a big thank you to you guys. Now let's jump into it. So the first thing up is the Biltwell tracker bars. When I first bought the bike, these bars were on it and I wasn't sure how I would get along with them. Kind of gives you that a little bit more of an aggressive stance, but not sort of the cruiser type feel on the standard bars that are about right here. These bars kind of cock you forward a little bit and get you more into the ride. With the back seat being a flat seat, you can really, adjust your riding style and stance for what it is you want to do. So when I'm just kind of chilling out in sort of a small town with a very, very low speed limit, I'll, be a little more forward in the tank and get my back as straight as I can to relax like this for a while. But when I'm going, higher speeds, I tend to cock back a little bit like this and kind of lean in just for a little bit more of a, engaged riding experience. Going along with the bars, we got the Vans grips on there. Love Vans grips. I think I'm going to put them on all my motorcycles. To kind of complete the handlebar section, I went with the TEC bar end mirrors here and the bar end mirror kit. So I was kind of fighting with maybe going with some more lower profile mirrors or some underslung mirrors that kind of bolt here on the mirror stem. But in the end, I think that the bar end mirrors from TEC really complete the look for this bike. And they're really good quality too, and they're not very expensive. So I like that. So that completes sort of the control section of the bike. So the next thing on the bars is I do have the motone clamp. I'm not sure which one it is, but it's the motone clamp, and I think the motone risers that go with it as well. Not exactly sure on that because some of the stuff was done when I got the bike. So the next thing that was done to the bike when I got it was the key relocation kit with the gauge cluster lower. So if you've ridden the stock Bonneville before, these gauges are pretty high up and they kind of make the front end of the bike look a little wonky to me. And getting the gauges lowered like this and getting them closer to the headlight really completes that streamlined look that I love in sort of a cafe / scrambler motorcycle. Moving on, we got the motone headlight brackets, which are really cool because you can adjust that headlight up and down, so you can really fine tune kind of where you want that headlight to sit in relation to the rest of the bike. So the next thing that really completes the look of the bike are the motone Bullitt indicators, and I have them on the front and rear of the bike, and I think it really completes the look of the cafe racer feel without saying, hey, I'm a mod, but it also slims down sort of the profile of the bike. So it gives it a nice sleek stance from front to back, which I think is very, very cool. And next up is this motone seat. Now, the seat was actually on the bike when I got it, and it's a really comfortable seat, but it is kind of shallow. So I think this is the slammer seat, I believe, or something like that. And if the seat didn't come on there already, I probably would have opted for a much thicker seat just to lift me up off the bike a little bit. I'm pretty happy with the seat. I love the way it feels. It looks awesome, and it really goes with the vibe I'm going for the bike. When you ride your bike every day and not just for show or just enjoyment, you really need some place to put your luggage, and I really needed to expand the luggage capabilities of this bike. And so I ended up going with the Rentec luggage rack and also the motone pannier rails. And this really adds a lot of versatility to the bike, also a grab handle and tie down point. Nothing too much to say about those, but they're out of the way enough to where they don't really spoil the way that the bike looks. So these really worked out very well for the bike. As we get lower on the bike, the next thing I did was the Icon shocks, and I got these in Thruxton height. And let me tell you that these were an amazing upgrade for the bike. If you have a stock Bonneville, especially one of these, newly EFI models, the 2012s, I think, and above, do yourself a favor and upgrade the rear shocks, because it makes all the difference in the road handling and enjoyment when you're out on the bike. So of course I couldn't leave that alone. I had to get the matching front springs that go with these rear shocks. So naturally, I went back to New Bonneville and ordered a set of the Icon progressive front fork springs. And I ended up redoing the fork oil and all that stuff as well while I was in there, and ended up replacing the top caps with the TEC adjustable preload caps. Now, I really underestimated again the importance of dialing in the preload to your rider weight. And this made a huge difference on the bike. And now when I'm riding and, you know, turning corners and everything, the bike leans in without a fuss. I don't get that wallowy sensation on the rear end. It just feels like I can ride this bike harder than it was meant to be ridden. But where you really feel it is when you're going around a long bend and you feel the bike just lock into place when you're going around that corner, and there's not that uneasiness or wallowiness on that rear end specifically. Here's how the bike sits now with the suspension up on the rear and up a little bit on the front. So I'm 6'1" with a 32-inch inseam, and I'm on a hill a little bit here, so there's still a slight bend in my leg. It does sit the bike up a little taller, but not so much taller to where it's like a dirt bike or anything. More in line with maybe like an urban scrambler, I guess. A little higher up, but not so high up that you feel like you're tippy-toeing the bike every time. So the next thing I had to do was get some kind of crash protection for this bike, because I wanted to, you know, take it off-road to some degree in the future and take it on camping trips and stuff, and I really wanted some kind of insurance. If I dropped the bike, at least I could pick it up and ride it home without, you know, totally messing up the tank or the side cases of the bike. And so I ended up getting the engine guards from SW Motec. And I gotta say, the build quality of those was just incredible. And what I really like about these versus a lot of other ones that you see is that they actually attach in 3 places. So there's 3 contact points instead of just 2. So I really feel that that will add some rigidity and some, you know, shock dispersion if the bike were to take a fall. Now, I didn't add them to save the bike in the event of a crash or a low side. I just added them for maybe some extra luggage mounts and lighting mounts, but also having that extra insurance that if I dropped the bike at low speed, that I wouldn't really have to worry about it. And of course, I couldn't leave the crash bars alone, so I had to go and get a single fog light to mount on them just to complete that sort of retro off-roady type look. And I think it really works really well with the way this bike is set up. So moving to the exhaust section of the bike, I really like the look of the old Bonnevilles with the pea shooter exhaust. I was very, very happy with the look. However, if I were gonna go ahead and modify this bike to the extent that I was wanting to, I was like, well, I might as well change out the exhaust, but not just change it out, but change it out to something unique and something that not every Bonneville has. And I've never seen another Bonneville in the flesh that has these motone Odin pipes. I guess these are called like a GP style exhaust. I went back to New Bonneville and ordered a set through them. And what was cool about them is they special ordered these, and I think a few others, so they might actually have a few in stock if you are interested in getting these motone Odin exhausts for yourself as well. All right, so I'm wearing the lapel here. I'm gonna jump on the bike and just show you what it sounds like from the rider's perspective, I guess. I think it sounds awesome. All right, so that about does it for everything else that you can kind of see on the bike. Now, the things that you can't really tell that I've done to the bike is I have done the AI delete on the bike. And for those of you who don't know, it's the air injection. If you look on the side of your engine here, there's an extra metal pipe that comes down right next to the spark plug. And it's some kind of EPA thing that sends some extra air, I guess, to the exhaust or something to help burn up some unused fuel. I'm not quite sure how all that works, but apparently it's a thing. But what you notice as a rider is that there are extra burbles and pops and stuff that happen randomly and specifically on decel when you're riding along with the bike. Now, I actually thought it was quite cool, but when I changed the exhaust out to a louder exhaust, it kind of got a little bit annoying. So I went ahead and did that mod, as well as the O2 sensor delete. So the specific tune that I was going for called for the O2 sensors to be removed, as well as the AIS system. And so the last thing that I did on the bike was the Triumph twin power tune on this, and it's the Tune 4 to be exact. And that called for, you know, removing the O2 sensors, and I think also called for removing the AIS delete. And also the Tune 4 is specific to these style of pipes. It's the sort of shorter exhausts. I still have the silencers in here. Just, you know, I have neighbors and I have kids around the house, and I don't really want a really, really loud bike, but I think they add just enough volume to where you kind of can hear the engine going. And what's cool about them is they sound really kind of tame on idle, but once you start getting after it on the road, you really hear the exhaust start coming to life. So with all that said, is there anything that I would change mod-wise to this motorcycle? Well, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think there's anything that I would change too much, but I am toying around with the idea of maybe getting some Clubman handlebars or even clip-ons for this bike. Or I would go the other way and just maybe get a little bit wider of a bar just to complete sort of more like a scrambler type aesthetic and handling when you're off-road. Other than that, is there anything that I would do over? There is one thing that I may do over. As much as I love the crash bars on the bike, I might have done those over and gone with maybe a Rentek set or something that doesn't connect to the front plate section, and namely because that's usually where the skid plate would install. I had to do a modification to the skid plate to get it to install with the crash bars in there. Not a big deal, but you know, if you're not into modding and cutting stuff up, you might want to go with a different set of crash bars so that it would accommodate that skid plate better. So with that said, I'm super happy with the way this motorcycle turned out. I think it looks awesome. It's just such a blast to ride. And not like it wasn't before, but it just is its own thing now, and it's just such a experience and a vibe when you're on it. Really making it my own is, I guess, the key term here. Yeah, making a motorcycle your own is quite an awesome thing. It does cost money and time, but you know, it is definitely worth it at the end if you are happy with the result. So. All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in and checking out all the mods I've done to my Triumph T100. Thanks so much for your support on the channel. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. It's Bert's Bike, and I'll catch you on the next one.